Ever since Marvel Studios' What If animated series was announced, Star Wars fans have been wishing for Lucasfilm to give Star Wars the same treatment, whether it be due to curiosity of different storylines or disdain towards the newly created sequels, and they may have gotten their wish. According to Daniel RPK, a What If version of Star Wars is reportedly in the works at Disney. I'll be honest and say that I was in the camp for a long time that I would love to see something like this. Not out of hatred for the canon we have, but simply wanting to see what would have played out if some minor story details were changed across the saga. Like what if Luke joined Vader, or what if Ahsoka never left the Order? Between all 9 movies and the many animated series, there's an infinite amount of what if scenarios that could be dove into, and I think it would be fun to see the story play out in different ways, to shake up the usual stories we as fans are used to getting. But recently, even before this announcement, I've started to find myself leaning the other way. I've enjoyed the 2 seasons of What If we've gotten from the MCU. I think they're beautifully animated and include some great moments of action, emotion, and character development, and legitimately might have some of my favorite episodes of Marvel television. But Marvel is very different from Star Wars, in a good way. A What If story works for Marvel because it has been established for years that there's a multiverse, an in-canon way to explain all of these different scenarios. They still happened, but not on our main timeline. But with Star Wars, we don't have anything like that. Telling what if stories would feel random and out of place, and likely confuse the more casual audience. Especially with how much hate the sequels have had, and the calls from people to decanonize the sequels, hoping the Mandoverse wipes it all from existence, this would only feed into their agenda. No matter how fun or interesting these what if stories could be, I don't think it would ever be worth the messy fan reaction that it would undoubtedly cause. Fans calling for a what if scenario they love to be canon, people complaining about how it should have been this way or that way, how this was so much better than the sequels and what we have in canon. I genuinely don't think the Star Wars fandom is responsible or level-headed enough to gratefully consume these stories without crossing the boundaries. I also think that there are just so many better projects to put these resources towards. Especially if we're talking about animation specifically, I think many fans would rather have more Tales of the Jedi episodes, and then even branch that out to shows like Tales of the Sith, Tales of the Bounty Hunters, and have these 2 or 3 episode arcs to really flesh out these characters that we don't know much about. There are so many characters that would benefit from this, and this would actually add to the existing canon and what we know, rather than being throwaway stories to try and appease some fans. I don't hate the concept of a Star Wars What If series enough to not watch it at all, but I think if there were to be an official announcement, my reaction would be more regretful and disappointed than excited. Would you want to see a Star Wars What If series? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to like the video, and subscribe for Star Wars coverage, and remember to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Thank you all for watching, and remember, the Force will be with you, always.